Source Nation, join us now for the Political Corner with your host, Destiny Hicks, as she brings you the latest highlights from the political arena. Source Nation, here is your host, Destiny Hicks.
Good evening, Source Nation, and a Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Political Corner with me, your host, Destiny Hicks. Tonight we have an amazing show planned for you all. But before I go any further, please allow me to thank our wonderful sponsors who have continued to make this show possible. And they are Selena Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper 2 Film Productions, Revolution Meals, Renovation, Meet My Type Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Urban Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. As I stated earlier, we have an amazing show planned for you all tonight. Tonight I'll be talking about millennials in this century. You know, I think about millennials, and I mean, if I look at it really closely, I see how I fit in the millennial category and how the millennials can really be that drive for the future politics and the future networks and marketing procedures and all these things that we want in the modern day. But, Source Nation, we're going to go on a quick break, and on the other side, I'll be back to discuss. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with your host, Destiny Hicks.
Source Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We're giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one has seen. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Linda Fonbren wanted Vicksburg to be the most fit city in Mississippi.
Walking is cheap. Life is priceless.
She got 2,500 neighbors to start walking with her.
Let's come together to help each other.
She wouldn't let them give up.
And we end up losing 15,000 pounds.
Linda helped reshape the community she loved, literally.
If you want to be happy, you got to be healthy.
Fitness. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Hey, you busy? I don't know. I was just thinking. It's such a beautiful day. I was hoping you'd come out to play. You're like sunshine when you touch me with your warm embrace. Just walk and hold hands. Let's 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 just walk and hold hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanna walk and hold hands. We ain't even got to say a word. We can just stroll and listen to the birds. Let me caress all of your cares away. 'Cause we've been blessed to have and hold this day like life everlasting. walk and hold hands. Let's just walk and hold hands. Let's just walk and hold hands. Let's just walk and hold hands. And let this pretty day dance around us, love. Let's just walk and hold. I'll sing a song for you. Lady can sing the blues. Let me hold on to you. Just let me do what I do. Let's just walk. We'll walk and hold hands. That is a master plan for this beautiful day. We will walk and hold. We can talk or no. We can walk and slow. I wanna walk and hold hands. Let's just walk and hold hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I wanna walk and hold hands. Let's just walk and hold hands. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Let's just walk and hold hands.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with your host, Destiny Hicks.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You are listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Destiny Hicks. The song that you just heard over the break was an indie soul artist by the name of Gwen Yvette. The name of her song was Walking and Holding Hands. She'll be live in the studio this Saturday at 2:15 with our host, James Johnson, for Indie Soul Saturdays. Make sure you guys stay tuned to listen to her music and she share her upcoming projects and so on and so forth. But like I stated earlier, Source Nation, we're going to talk about millennials in the future of now. And so when I say in the future of now, a lot of times we talk about millennials as something that, can't happen in the right now. But when I look at it, I'm looking at how millennials really do have an impact on today. The future isn't years from now. The future is now. And so in order for things to go forward, in order for things to happen, in order for things to really reach that peak that we all need, we need something new. We need something fresh. We need something that's going to be different. We talk about all the time why millennials are leaving, churches, and why millennials are taking over the business world, how millennials are taking over marketing and all these new things and new ventures. It's because millennials know how to grasp other millennials. Millennials are, that driving force that is needed to keep leadership fresh. I'm not saying that the leadership that we currently have isn't something that's, positive or something that's, great and all so on and so forth. But I do think that when it comes to millennials, we think at a different, how can I put this, in a different time frame. I hope I'm talking right tonight. When I think about millennials, I was telling one of my friends the other day, we were on the phone, and I was saying that we have a generation that thinks. We think for ourselves. And see, that's something that a lot of older generations don't really like because they're so used to telling you what needs to happen and we just go with the flow. See, we have a generation that will go read the book. You can't just tell us one thing and we just go along with it. No, if you tell us something, we're going to try to figure out, okay, how can I believe that what you're saying is true? Respecting the fact that you're an elder, respecting the fact that traditions, respecting all of those simple facts. But however, millennials, we drive that knowing force. We want to know that it really is what you say it is. We don't want to just hear it and think, okay, we're going to go by what you say. We're going to back whatever you're saying up. Preachers can no longer just get in the pulpit and say one thing. As millennials, we go back and we say, okay, so he said this is, or she said this is. As millennials, we don't just let politicians tell us that this is what's going on, this is what's going on. We now research it. You got to realize we're in a time now we can just go by the click of a phone and check out somebody else's culture. So it's nothing that's really hard for a millennial to really focus and find the answers. And see, that's the problem. People don't like that. I ran into a debate with an older politician a while ago. And his debate with me was like, I feel like millennials are trying to take over, and millennials are just, those people that just feel so entitled. No, we don't feel entitled. We do feel like whatever we do, we have to make sure it's precise in our doing. We're not going to play around. Looking back at our ancestors and our great-grandfathers and our great-grandmothers and so on and so forth behind us, and our parents, per se, they went with the flow. We're not that generation that goes with the flow. We're that generation that continues to push forward, and whatever we're pushing forward in, we make sure that we are breaking cycles in that. Our parents may have had a type of mentality where they just, they were just going to work a 9 to 5 all their lives, but now we have a driving generation that wants to be entrepreneurs, a driving generation that wants to have their own, a driving generation that doesn't want to struggle because they've seen the struggle. See, we have people in our families and people in our lives that just repeat cycles of living check to check, repeat cycles of going 9 to 5, and from that 5 to 9 process do nothing but just do the social norm. But we're living in a time where, opportunities are at our fingertips. Why let these opportunities pass us by? When I talk about the political sphere of things, I'm talking about it's so good for a politician now that all they got to do is they want to see what networks is, or they want to see what's going on in their communities, or they want to go see what's going on in their districts. All they have to do is push a button on their phone or say, "Hey Siri," or "Hey Alexa," and they can go with that. Technology is not stopping. Technology is forever expanding, and if you can't get on the bandwagon, then you just got to be left behind. And as millennials, we are not the ones that are in the business of being left behind. We're not in the business of struggling all our lives. We're not in the business of sitting back and waiting for somebody to do it for us. And I think that if we had more millennials that didn't just sit on what they know, if we had more people in general that didn't just sit on what they know, you know how further we would be in life. We wouldn't have things passed in Senate. We wouldn't have things passed in the House that's going to hurt and harm people. We wouldn't have those things going on if we stood up for what we know. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of people always having all these answers and all these things as to, oh, you want to be a success and you want to do this, all you got to do is this and that and that. But yet they have not even themselves mastered what they need to do in life that's going to bring in some type of revenue. Don't speak on telling somebody else what they need to do in life to better themselves when you haven't even yet masterminded how to better yourself. I can't give you life advice, but I don't even know how to really operate my own life beyond what I know right now. Come on, people. We got to get into a space, a head space, where we not only want to talk the better game, but actually live the better game. I hope I'm talking right tonight when I'm talking about expanding our mindset for the future. We just can't be politicking all our lives and not really living the life that we speak on. I was telling somebody the other day, I said, you know what? I said, to live a life without taking risks, to live a life without setting a tone, to live a life without failing every now and then, to live a life that you had to struggle in order to meet is meet, doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but it does sometimes mean that you didn't try as hard as you thought you would. Or, matter of fact, you didn't try as hard as you talked about trying. See, people that try are okay with failure. See, I talked about failing. It doesn't matter if you fail every now and then. See, failing teaches you something. Failing teaches you your strength. It teaches you how to deal with loss. It teaches you how to deal with understanding that though I tried it the first time and I didn't get it, it doesn't mean that I can't still persevere in life. You see what I'm saying? See, oftentimes we fail at things and we, fall at things and we get knocked down at things and we run into people that tell us that we can't do this and we can't do that. And that becomes our mindset. But you can't get your mindset wrapped around failure. Because as long as you got your mind wrapped around failure, you will never get any further than what failure tells you can go. I made up my mind in 2018. Nobody can tell me what I can and cannot do in this life, because as long as I have breath in my body, I will forever press on into the mark. That's what it means to be. See, I feel like millennial is a mindset. It's not an age group. Yeah, we talked about millennial being an age group. No, you can get on the millennial wave by being a certain, people are going to classify you as a millennial off rip if you're in a certain age group. But however, as long as you are driving towards something, as long as you're pressing towards something, as long as, stop just working 9 to 5 and thinking that that's okay because people are paying you a certain amount of hours. No, work that 9 to 5, and when you get off at 5, invest in your future. Invest in your future. You have from 5 to 9 after you get from that 9 to 5 to find something that you can become your own boss. Don't forever get somebody to have their foot on your neck by telling you what you can and can't do in this life. I'm telling y'all, it's more and more to life than the naysayers. Jump on the wave of 2018. Make this your year of more. Make this your year of investing. Make this your year of yes. I know a lot of people that's in their later ages that didn't do nothing in their life. You know why? Because they sat and they waited for things to happen for them. See, one thing about getting further in life, you're going to run into people that are telling you you're doing it too fast. You're going to run into people telling you, no, just wait. You're going to run into people telling you, maybe it's not the time right now, but nobody can tell you what time it is for you until you talk and evaluate things for yourself. Or at least talk to somebody that can mentor you in a point where, get a mentor that's already where you want to be. Don't get a mentor that's behind you a couple of steps. They can't mentor you. One thing they can tell you is what they think you should do. Get somebody that's where you want to be. I talk to CEOs. I talk to entrepreneurs. Why? Because I want to be an entrepreneur one day. I want to be a CEO one day. I talk to politicians because I want to be a politician one day, and I can't make it unless I get some guidance. That's another thing we miss. Guidance. I'm not telling nobody to jump off a ledge. I'm not telling anybody to jump into 9 feet of water and you can't swim. I'm talking about taking the necessary precautions to get to where you want to be. You can't say that you want to be an app developer and then don't study the technique every day. You can't say that you want to be a politician but you don't know policy, you don't know law, you don't know how the House and the Senate work, you don't know how law are being made, you don't know how to do bills, you don't know how to do none of that stuff, but yet you want to be a politician. You can't talk about wanting to be a lawyer, but you don't know how to take the heat. Because as a lawyer, you have to understand there's going to be times in the courtroom when you have to defend things. People are going to try to get everything they can up on your skin for you to lose this case, but as a lawyer, you have to be able to take the heat and also know your stuff. Don't ever go into a room with people thinking that you don't have to be prepared. I've seen so many people fail and fail and fail and fail and fail. But you know what stood out the most to me? Is that they didn't give up. You walk into a room unprepared and then you get mad and say, I don't understand why they did me like that. No, walk into the room prepared and confident. That's what we need, millennials. That's what we need in 2018. This is the year of the now. Don't sit back and let life pass you by. Don't sit back and let a job determine what you're going to do in life. We have some people on this line right now that's listening to Source Nation right now, that's listening to the Political Corner right now, that needs to be their own boss, but the only thing that's scaring you is failure. The only thing that's scaring you is how your family is going to feel about it, or how people are going to feel about you doing what you got to do for yourself. The best day of your life is when you don't let life stop you. The best day of your life is when you don't let failure stop you. The best day of your life is when you go for what you got to go forward with. You can't stop at what it looks like. You know how many people, you know how many times Oprah Winfrey probably would have never made it to where she was if she would have gave up? You know how many stars and how many entrepreneurs and how many CEOs would have never gotten to where they are today if they would have gave up? If you want to be a millionaire, you have to have a millionaire mindset. If you don't want to struggle, you got to have a I'm not going to struggle no more mindset. I'm going to keep going until I don't know what struggle is anymore. And then not only will I not know what struggle is, but everybody that I see struggling, I'm going to teach them how I made it out. You want to talk about not living check to check, but yet you're still living check to check. No, you got to find something. Find something that's going to get you. It's going to, some of you may have an idea to start your own clothing business. You want to design something. You want to make your mark. You want to leave your stamp. You want something that your kids can eat off from when you pass away. You want to have a legacy. You can't have no legacy with being a check-to-check person. Yeah, that's good for right now. But legacy, millionaires, successful, wealthy people, they have multiple things that they do. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they don't just sell records for fun. They have clothing businesses. They have clothing lines. They have other things. Jay-Z has tile that he's invested in. You see, P. Diddy, all of them, they're not just doing the rapping thing, the music thing. They have other things they're invested in. Be an investor. Invest in yourself. Can't nobody invest in you like you because you know what you want out of it. I promise you, if you put something up and it wasn't just passed down to you, I promise you that you'll work every day. You'll work your behind off to not prove a point to anybody, but to know to yourself that I didn't just do this because in that moment I felt like I wanted to do more, but I did this because I really do want more. I'm telling you, when you make up in your mind, that things have to get better for you, when you make up in your mind that old you can't drive you like this undying force that's within you. See, the old you will keep telling you, maybe not right now. You got time for that. Or you too old for that. But when you want to be more, when you want to do more, you don't let things pass you by. Y'all, there's so many good things going on in the world right now that we're missing. You know why? Because we're too focused on things that are bad. We talk about our administration. That's why tonight I said I'm not going to talk about administration tonight. I'm not talking about the things that's going wrong in the world. I'm going to shine light on things that's going good because this is going to be the year of the good. Yeah, in the political corner, we're going to talk about all politics and the political spectrum of things and, what's going on in the House and what's going on in the Senate. But we're not going to base this show this year on just bad stuff and things that's going wrong. I'm telling you, like right now, Sesame Street has just given $100 million for a targeted program to heal young Syrian refugees. Right now. Right now. The London train station, they threw a Christmas party for city's homelessness. London right now has an iconic black cab that's going electric, saving people on gas. Now we're doing electric things. We're now trying to do something where we can stop more than 200 nations of ocean plastic waste. We're going to stop that. 200 nations are going to promise us that we are going to stop ocean plastic waste. We're going to stop. We're going to do away with that. We have people that's going through things that's now getting a second chance at life. We had a baby that was born with a half of a heart, but now about to get a second chance at life. You know why? Because we have doctors that are vested in trying to make sure that they're not just doing what's enough to get them paid, but doing what they really have a passion for, and that's saving lives. Saving lives. That's what they're in it for. And that's just a few things that's going on that's just, I feel like should be a motivation to you in this year. We have things that's going on good. We can't just always shine light on the bad. I was telling, like I said, I talked to my friends about so many different things. I was telling them the other day, I said, we talk all this stuff about our president. We talk all this stuff about, our administration right now. But all we can do is do what we can do behind the scenes. At the end of the day, that's still our president. And, as much as we hate it, as much as we don't like it, we can't keep talking about all the bad things that he's doing. We have to now understand that with state stuff that we can be working on, though we can't do as much as we want to on a federal level, we can work on some things on a state level. Go to those city council meetings. Y'all know I stressed this in 2017, just about every show, going to city council meetings, to going to when the House and the Senate is in session, going to those things and seeing what our legislators are doing on our behalf. And if we don't like it, then we can write them letters, we can send them mail, we can run for office, we can become our own community leaders in a small vested moment. We can't just let things continue to just happen the way that they've been happening. It does not work like that. And when I talk about millennials of the now, millennials, that's each and every one of you. We're not just going to make millennials continue to be that young group of people. Though we are that young group of people, I'm telling you, we can do more as a people if we come together on a millennial mindset. Don't just go by what somebody tells you, but go by what you know. If you know that you know that you know that you know, and you can back that thing up with knowledge, and you not only just hear something and ready to debate it, but okay, I hear you, I understand. I'm gonna get back with you a little bit later on that. I'm gonna get back later with you on that. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna see what I can do. Don't take that time. It doesn't make you dumb because you're taking that time to look into something. It's giving you that time to make sure you come back with the accurate feedback as to, how you can grow and how you can do this and how you can do that. I met this guy once. He told me, he said, a lot of things, sometimes I don't know it. He said, I just, just sit back and listen to somebody giving me feedback on it. He said, and then, later on I'll be like, okay, cool. He said, and then I'll be looking it up on my phone when I get back home. I'm like, what was that thing they said again? Look it up to gain more knowledge of it so that somebody else brings that up again, I'll know what they're talking about. Guys, we have to stop just going by what the flow looks like, but we got to start really understanding things and breaking down things and understanding it better and better. You can't get mad at millennials taking jobs. You can't get mad at millennials getting fresh out of school and, doing all these different things, and we're embarking upon things that our ancestors never did. No, our ancestors always had that drive. Our ancestors always had that, that extra push in the African-American community. We had people that fought for things that, other people were probably telling them that, wait, hold back. I don't think that we should do this right now. It could cause a lot of heat, all this stuff, but yet they still did it. So you can't tell me that we didn't have people back in the day with the same mindset. Stop calling it a millennial thing and just call it a mindset thing. If you want better for yourself, you can always obtain better, but you got to be able to work for better. You can't always talk about what you want to have and not work hard to get what you want to have. I can't tell y'all that I want to be a millionaire, or I'm a dreamer, and I'm all this stuff, and yet I don't even have a vision. We talked about that. Remember I told you guys about being a visionary? Y'all know we talked about this. But what is it to have a vision and not have a plan? We talk about wanting to bake a cake, and here we are with the cake on our mind, the phone in our hands, and the things that's necessary for the cake, ingredients in our cabinets and in our refrigerator, but yet we don't get up, look at our phones, type in the cake that we want to make, find out how to make it, and do it. Why is that? Because a lot of us we lack the get up and go about ourselves. Only thing we know is thinking and talking. But what happened to the doing? A cake that we think about isn't going to appear on our table. A cake that we taste in our mouth isn't going to just appear in our mouth. We have to know what we're doing. We have to take that extra step for ourselves and do it ourselves. I can't wait around for somebody to give me something. I have to go out and get it myself. I can't wait for somebody to tell me when it's my time. All I can do is test it, and if it doesn't work right now, it doesn't mean I stop right now. Source Nation, I'm not just telling this to beat you guys down, but being that this is the start of a new year, I want you guys to understand that you have 365 days to get it right. You may have not done what you really want to do in 2017, and you might have played around and messed around and missed your chance. But this is another 365 days for you to get it right, to get better for yourself, to no longer just be invested in that 9 to 5, but actually do what you got to do when you get off work. Don't just rest up to live regularly. You could be above average right now, but not only just staying afloat, but actually having your own boat. So many times we get so accustomed to staying afloat that we miss the opportunity of having our own boat and not just staying afloat at all times, but actually being able to understand that we could have more. 2018 is the year of more, but Source Nation, I know a lot of you may have be having questions and, so on and so forth, and I know that you want to call in and let me know what's going on. And so if you're just tuning in, Source Nation, this is Live with the Political Corner. Me, your host, Destiny Hicks, and tonight we're discussing millennials in the now. Millennials in the now. And so I'm discussing how, millennials isn't just a set group, but it's a mindset. And a lot of people might not agree with that. A lot of people might think that, no, millennials are who they are. But no, millennial can be a mindset because it's people that's in a different age bracket that still understands millennials and how we think. And so that's what we're talking about tonight on the Political Corner. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just give me some feedback on how you feel about what I'm talking about, millennials in the now, understanding that millennial is a mindset, not just a age group or age bracket. So the phone lines are open right now. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please dial in right now at 924-0933 and press the option 1. Source Nation, like I was saying earlier, I think back and I look and I not only observe and not only evaluate, but I try to make sure that when I do say something that I can back that thing up. Make sure this is, that just came to me. Make sure this is the year that you not only say it, but you can back it up. Like, I never understand how people can be rude and nasty, but yet you have no reason to be like that. You want to be rude, you want to be nasty, but you can't even back up what you're talking about. You want to treat people a certain kind of way, but yet you don't even, you might want to be nice to people. Because to be truthful, you ain't really even got it like that for you to be acting all stiddy and stuck up. And if I'm quite sure, don't be acting all kind of way where you ain't really got it figured out yourself. How can you be mad at somebody for not taking your advice, but when they look at you, you're handing out their advice, but yet you're not even where you're trying to tell me how to get? Be careful. Don't be upset when people don't take your advice. They just kind of look at you because they're kind of like, how are you telling me what I need to do to get where I need to be, but yet you're not even where you should be or where you're trying to tell me to be? You can't tell me. You can't tell me how to get from point A to point B when you're still at point A. How does that work? No. And see, that's where a lot of millennials and other people clash when they try to, like give me life advice. Give me, something that you've been through. Give me advice on that. And I'll take heed to that. But don't try to tell me. Don't try to, step above where you're at. Try to tell me, speak on something that you haven't even experienced yet. Y'all understand, we all have revelations and, we all have things and we reach areas of our life where we, have kind of grasped the concept to be able to tell somebody else, this is how you should do it. Maybe you should try to work it out this way. Maybe you should try to figure out this way. Maybe you should do it this way. Maybe you should try to do it that way. I'm not going to tell you to step on that, but write that down in your notes. Maybe if it doesn't work the way that you're trying to do it, if it doesn't work this way, then you can maybe, use what I told you and gear it to your own perspective. A lot of times we come automatically off the wrong place because we try to tell people to do it that way, and that's the only way to do it. And then when that person does it and they trust you on that, and we fail, you don't want to deal with that fire that comes with that. So just be like, maybe you should try to, work it out this way or work it out that way. And for one, I think that we should also learn how to believe in ourselves. We get so caught up and wrapped up in the dream that we forget what it takes to fulfill that dream. It's going to take some days where you don't know how it's going to work. You don't see how it's going to work. And everybody that was talking bad about you before you began this process is like, yeah, I knew it wasn't going to work that quick. But in that very moment, if you believe in yourself, nothing that they say about you will stop you. See, that's the millennial mindset. See, that's the difference between a lot of people in the millennial mindset. Is when you don't let what's going on right now stop you. See, millennials, we're more focused on the later on. We don't really care too much about the right now. The right now is kind of like, okay, yeah, I know I'm in the groundwork process. I'm in the groundwork process, and what I'm going through right now is temporary. I'm not here to stay where I am. I'm just here, understanding that if I didn't go through this moment in my life, then that would mess up my process. See, my process is going to take some struggle. My process is going to take some failures. My process is going to take some people giving up on me. My process is going to take some people telling me this is not the time for you to do this right now. My process is going to tell me, my process is going to need those people telling me to keep their foot on my neck. It's going to take those people telling me to hold on right now, wait a little bit, just keep, maybe just stay where you are right now. My process is going to take all of that. You know why? Because when I get to my finish mark, when I get to where I saw I was going to be, when I get to where I know I'm headed, when I get there, I'm going to be able to thank God that what happened to me didn't stop me. Okay, so you're going to think in that moment when you made it to where they told you wasn't going to go. That's when you're going to know in that very moment that stuff was necessary. Y'all, we miss those necessary points because we give up in that moment of despair. We give up in that moment where it seems like what we're trying to get towards, we can't get there because of so many people with their foot on our necks. Some people are in our lives for a reason to try to keep us where we are. Those people are there for a reason. Don't think in a second that they're not there for a reason. They need to be a part of your process. Why? You're like, Host Destiny, why do those people have to be there? I don't think we need naysayers there. We need naysayers. And another thing, we're going to run into people on this journey in life. We're going to run into people that just want to always have some type of control over you, have some type of power over you so that they can always be able to, hold you by something. It's okay. You're going to run into them people. But you know what? Don't be distracted by those people. Don't be distracted by those people that's telling you, I'm going to get that for you later on. Oh, why are you trying to do that by yourself? I got you. Don't worry about that. No, learn to be an owner. Learn to have that mindset to want to own it yourself. Because when you become an owner, you have a mindset of being an owner. You never want to borrow again. Because as long as you are in that mindset of somebody buying it for you, or somebody borrowing it for you, or somebody doing it for you, then you will never get beyond that, because you become so accustomed to somebody doing it for you that you will never know what it's like to do it for yourself. And as long as somebody can keep you in that mindset, you will never get further in life, because you will only think as far as them doing it for you and not of how I can obtain it myself. The day I want to become a photographer, the day I want to become my own blogger, the day I wanted to have my own, I had to realize what it took to have my own. What does that mean? That means that I then had to learn how to save. I then had to learn how to manage the little bit of income I was having to get and to know what I had to do with it to have what I want to have. As long as somebody is doing it for you, as long as somebody, has that upper power in your life, that'll always keep you bound. It'll keep you bound by their nose. It'll keep you bound by not right now. It'll keep you bound by all those things. But the day that you let go of those shackles and you understand that all I got to do is manage better, all I got to do is save better in order for me to be able to call it mine. All I got to do is understand better. It don't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. Understanding doesn't have an age minimum or max. Understanding comes when you understand better, when you want to understand better. I hope I'm talking right to y'all tonight. Don't think that maturity has an age minimum or age max. And some people are old and still don't have a mature mindset. They just think that they're older and that they know better, but that doesn't mean. I know people right now that's older that can't tell you nothing because they haven't even masterminded life. But I can tell you right now, I can run up on an 18-year-old or 17-year-old that's been through some stuff that can tell you a little bit better. It doesn't matter about your age. It matters about what you have encountered in life that have made you and taught you how to grow up a little faster than you were supposed to. It doesn't matter about that stuff. Being grown is having bills. Being grown is, being kind of out on your own, all that stuff. But just because you're grown don't mean that you're mature. I wish I was talking to somebody tonight. If you think that because you're a certain age that makes you mature, then you got something else coming for you, because maturity doesn't come with your age max. Maturity comes when you done been through some things that then taught you some things. See, people think that when they hear my age, I'm 21, they think, oh, you don't know nothing about that. See, it's taught life and maturity. That teaches you something. It teaches you the difference. See, I can say all day, oh, yeah, life is life. But what does that really mean? Because your interpretation of life and my interpretation of life would be a different thing. See, when I look at life, I think about experience. Experience had brought me thus far. My age doesn't have anything to do with my maturity. Experience has me mature. See, that we get so shackled by the age thing that we have younger people with true wisdom, with true understanding, thinking that they're not true, they're not wise enough, because you have to be a certain age to be wise. We got a lot of people that's a certain age. I mean, the older age range, that still can't to talk about maturity. I tell us a lot of times, when I was a child, I acted as a child, but now that I'm older, now I think as an older person. Yeah, that's true. But there's a lot of older people that don't think on the older people level perception. There's a lot of young people that don't think on the older people's perception. There's a lot of younger people that think on the older people's perception. There's a lot of older people that think on the younger person's perspective. I ran into a person the other day that's in their 50s and their 60s and still think as a kid. It's people like that. So that's when you get things confused, when you think that your age matters in a sense of maturity. It doesn't. There's some 8-year-olds that had to grow up a little faster. You know why? Because they had parents in the household it was a broken family, or they had people that were, that weren't there for them, so they had to teach themselves how to make money, how to make ends meet, so they had to grow up a little faster. They missed their childhood because they had to learn how to grow up faster than they were supposed to. 8-year-old trying to figure out how their 4-year-old little sister or little brother is going to eat at night. That's a mind thing. Experience taught them to grow up faster. Experience taught them, that life ain't going to wait on you. Experience taught them that either you make it happen or it won't happen. So when I talk about millennials in the now, millennial is a mindset. A millennial is a go-getter. A millennial is somebody that does not let life pass them by. Millennial is not an age bracket. Millennial is a mindset. Millennial is right now, and millennial is not later on. Millennial is something that's going to get what they're going to get, and they're going to keep pressing, and they're not going to stop. Millennial doesn't mean that they're going to tell me no, and I'm going to stop with that no. Millennial means, yes, I like your no, I appreciate your no, but now I'm going to get a better understanding. I'm going to break this down better, and when I come back, you will have no choice but to tell me yes. A millennial means that whatever I go through is not going to set me back, but it's going to set me up, because you talked about me, because you tried to keep me in a mindset of I can't do it for myself. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it for myself. Millennial has that drive that's going to push you. That's what millennial is. Source Nation, I understand now that I'm running out of time, because I got really excited about this show tonight, because I think so many of us miss it. We get so tangled up in, millennials, they just extra. They just want to do this, and they just want to do everything. Millennials always raising their hands. Millennials always questioning somebody. Millennials always this and that. But tonight I come to tell you guys that millennial is not an age bracket. Millennial is a mindset. If it wasn't, then there wouldn't be people just invested in making money and trying to step in a millennial's shoes, to understand them better. Now, y'all know how I feel when it comes to growth and visions and you know, trying to do better. I think that's why I said that 2018 is that year of better. You know why? Because I feel like people have been sitting on their gifts for so long. That political you, that lawyer you, that doctor you, that lawyer, that law worker, policy writer, surgeon, all of that, engineer, welder, psychologist, playwright, director, actor, actress. Don't worry about what it takes for you to get there. Just do what you got to do to get there. I know people, they're now business owners that bust tables and waited and were hostess in places and, you know, did what they had to do to save up their money to follow their dreams. I know people that couldn't afford to go to school, but they wanted to go to school, and so they worked all throughout their college career just so they could attend school to do what they wanted to do in life. So don't think that where you are has to stop you. There's ways around that you can work your way to the top, but you got to be able to work. See, you can't just get to the top without work. You just can't get through life without work. But you got to be consistent, you got to be persistent, and you can't stop. Don't lose your mind because you are where you were 10 years ago. Because the only person that stopped you from being further 10 years later is you. Nobody has that power over your mind. Nobody has that power over you but you. So, First Nation, I ran out of time. And before I close, and before I tell you guys something that's going to keep you throughout the week and inspire you, hopefully, to do better in 2018, I got to make sure I thank my sponsors. And they are Zelina Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper Tune Film Productions, Revolution Meals, Renovations, Meet My Type Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Urban Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Like I was saying earlier, Source Nation, you got to believe in you. You got to press forward. You can't let nothing stop you. You can't focus on the now because you'll forget that right now is necessary. Right now is the process. Right now, when you get to your finish line, it's going to mean the most to you because you're like, I thank God for that scar on me because that scar reminds me of my story. And so, Source Nation, don't forget it. Millennial is not a mind thing that's going to keep you in the set of being the millennial being an age bracket, millennial being, you know, something that has to stay within a certain age group. But millennial is a mindset. Don't forget it. I'm here with you, Political Corner, live with Destiny Hicks. And I hope you guys had a happy new year and continue to have a prosperous 2018. We'll be back next week at 7. Follow me at Destiny Hicks on Facebook, Destiny Janae on Instagram, and my blog, the Invitation blog, just had a new one that came out. Dear New Year, don't miss it. I want you guys to go now. As soon as you click out for this blog, make sure you go to invitationblog.weebly.com and look for Dear New Year. Like, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Stay up and meet me here again next week, next Wednesday, with the Political Corner at 7.